Hello everyone and welcome back to JMU Psyched. For today's episode, today we'll be discussing the effects that social media can have on younger generations' minds and mental states. Social media has become almost a necessity to teens this past decade, and there is no sign of this desire in them to die anytime soon. Even though social media is as popular as it has been slowly affecting our minds. Multiple studies have been conducted to find a correlation between social media and the rising cases of mental illness throughout the decade, and more scientists and researchers are beginning to believe that there is a plausible correlation, but they haven't found enough evidence to be able to form a better argument. To help us understand the effects that social media can have on this brain, today we have a co-host today, Hannah Yu.
Thank you, Maddie. It feels great to be here today.
It's great to have you here. Hannah Yu is an expert researcher in neuroscience and specializes specifically in researching social media use and the neuro effects that it has in society. How long have you been studying these effects? Can you explain for our listeners what social media use does to a teenage mind?
I've been studying neuroscience for almost 2 decades now, and I've been studying the effects of social media on the brain for about 7 years. It's mind-boggling how there are so many chemical changes in the brain that social media use can cause, yet hardly anyone is aware of it.
Yeah, I'm no expert in this field, but I conducted some research of my own for this episode and found some very interesting facts about what social media does to the brain, and I was shocked to say the least. What exactly does social media use do to a teenager's mind?
So the brain can be separated into several different parts, and each part has their own role that helps the human function. Depression and anxiety, the two main mental illnesses that can come from too much social media use, chemically change some parts of the brain. The cortisol, a hormone in the brain that helps respond to stress, can actually enlarge or shrink parts of your brain if it's released at an excess amount. Shrinking or enlarging certain parts of the amygdala can cause problems with sleeping habits and other factors that lead to having anxiety or depression. Although researchers haven't found a direct correlation between social media use and these various possible changes that can lead to depression, they have found that teenagers who are on social media more frequently than others have a significantly higher chance of getting symptoms of depression than those who don't visit the platforms as much. Teenagers are going through mental development during the same time that they are at the peak of use of their social media use. So while they're growing and learning more about themselves, they're watching and comparing themselves to others. This can cause self-esteem issues and a lost sense of identity.
What should parents do if their teens start exhibiting symptoms of depression and lost identity?
Well, first, parents should know what to look for in their kids' demeanor. If they start to lose interest in their hobbies out of nowhere and become more irritable and fatigued, then there's a chance they should be worried about them. Thankfully, there are plenty of resources for therapy and counseling out there. I'd say the best thing to do is to try to get your child open to counseling and see where things go from there. You can find counseling centers and resources near you by using any search engine.
Thank you so much, Hannah. Stay tuned after hearing a few words from our sponsor to discover more about how social media has been affecting society today and what you can do to help friends and family around you that may be suffering because of it.